Okay, welcome back to Woodshop Wednesdays, and back out here in the shop getting ready to do some additional finessing on these doors. So here we go. So I block sanded this door here. This is the driver's side, and you can see all the low spots where it's darker, and there are quite a few of those. So like the rocker panel on the passenger side, I'm gonna bring I'm gonna do a real thin coat of 3M glaze all the way across the door. No sense trying to fill each individual one. Just do the whole door and then block sand it again, and it should be relatively. Okay, here's the passenger door. I got a little bit more aggressive on block sanding it because I didn't want to have to put a whole panel, a whole thing of glaze on it if I didn't have to, and I'm not going to have to do that. The low spots are obvious, mainly around this hinge. You can see where it's high. I'm gonna hit this with glaze here, a little bit in here, and just a touch or two, in these areas. And that one should be able to be blocked and then primed again. This glaze is sat up for about 20 minutes or so. But you can see I had some trash in my spreader, so I got these ugly lines in it. I wanted it to lay down smooth like this, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit this with some 220 on a random orbit sander and just kind of knock down the high spots before I block it. Okay, things can't always go as planned. Unfortunately, Murphy reared his ugly head. The glaze that I put down, while I thought I was trying to be careful not to let it kick off too soon, I didn't put enough activator, and so this never actually dried. When I started sanding it, the paper was gumming up, so then I just used lacquer thinner to try to get most of it back off again. What I'm gonna have to do now is use 120 on a random orbit and basically sand all that back off of there again and start from not ground zero, but it's a little bit of a setback, but hey, it's what happens. Okay, I got all that off of there and sanded to 220. So basically what I'm going to do now is rather than to try to glaze that whole thing again, I'm going to give it 2 coats of urethane primer, and along with that one over there, once I'm done with it, glazing it, and I'll block it again and see where I'm at that point. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay, got both doors blocked to 320 and ready for urethane primer. I probably won't mix up any epoxy because there's barely any metal that is shown anywhere. So I'll just go down with the 2 coats of urethane primer surfacer and block it again. See where we are. All right, here we go. I'm going to use this it's an Osturo Eco SSP. This is a paint gun that I've had for a long, long time. It's my favorite gun. It's got a pressure pot system on it, and I just restored the thing, and I'm anxious to use it to spray both the primer and the base and clear coats. So let's see how it does. You know what I forgot to put on? My mask. All right. Okay, there's 2 coats of Eastwood's 2K urethane primer surfacer. And couple things I did differently was I added, it mixes 4-to-1, and I added 20% reducer. That helped a lot. I also used a different gun to shoot it, that is Sturo, which that is an Italian gun. Unfortunately, they're no longer in business, but that is my favorite gun because that laid down much, much better with that gun. The atomization that gun does. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that to paint this thing. But anyway, because I've got a different gun that I used on the C10. It's by CA Technologies. Really, really good gun, but I really like the Sturo better overall. This is looking very, very good. It's probably the last full coat of the urethane primer I'll put on here. Once I block it, from there on out, as I need to address any areas, I'll probably just spot prime where I need to. These rails are looking way better than they did. I'm glad I filled the holes in. The welds that I decided to glaze over and smooth are also looking good. There was a weld here and a weld there. Yeah, everything is looking way, way better than it did when I first, started. Where this had a seam, that's all filled in nice and smooth. Again, the top rail, I got a little bit of work to do here. I've got some filler there I got to sand, but top rail looking nice and slick. Panels are looking nice and flat, remarkably flat compared to what they were. So I'm happy with what's going on here. Still have to block it again and look for any minutia that I need to address, but overall I'm very pleased with the way this is coming out. So all right, couple days cure time and then I'll block it out. Okay, I'm getting ready to block sand with the long block here, 180, and I've got some guide coat. Got an applicator and some powder down in there. And the reason I'm doing 180 is because I don't mind getting too aggressive on it, and that there's a lot of primer there. So here we go. Okay, you can see that I'm low. Let me get my finger here. I'm low here, but that's okay because I don't want to touch that yet. I want to make sure, the fender lines up. Didn't do that yet up there, but down here, obviously low, right here up along that edge. So I got to do some glazing there. Looks like I have a couple of low spots here. Those are high. Yeah, that's getting into the epoxy. So, and there's a low spot and there's a low spot. You can see how quickly you can find out what you need to do. So, okay, so again, I've got low spot here along this rail. I've got a low spot here, here. These aren't low spots. That's actually epoxy primer. That's a low spot. That's a low spot. Low spot, low spot, low spot. That one too, that one. So and it's a little bit low here, which is actually kind of nice because I want to try to blend that anyhow, so that'll be good. I'll just add some glaze and glaze into that. Glaze into that, I meant. Okay, got this all glazed again and block sanded, and I told a fib. I said I wasn't going to put another full coat of primer on it, but because I had to do so many areas, I am going to put one full coat on it, just so I can block it one more time. And like I said before too, there's very little filler that's actually left on the panels when you're done blocking, unless there was some major damage. But just like that filler, the primer is kind of the same thing. You keep blocking until it's just laser straight, and this is remarkably straight compared to what it was. So I think I'm about at the point on this side, I haven't done the driver's side yet, that one more coat of primer on here and one more blocking, and then from 180 then 320, and it'll be ready. I believe this will be ready. Now, I did run into some bare metal areas in here and some other places, so I will have to spot prime with epoxy first. So, and all right. Okay, not quite as bad a situation over here on the driver's side. Got this all blocked down, and got into a little bit of the original paint there, so that was high. But this is all nice and flat. I'm sorry. This is all nice and flat now. Got a low spot here, but then again, it's close to the fender, so I'm not gonna really address these areas here because I won't really know what I need to do there until I've got the fender mounted. I will need to fill this. That's a little low. It's a little low here and down here. Let's see, what else do we have? There's a little bit down at the very bottom of the rocker. I think the biggest thing over here is I've got to fix this because this was protruding and I started hammering on it. That's where a weld is, but the weld broke up here when the metal got real thin as I was doing the restoration last time. So I ended up fiberglassing that, which is what I'll do now too. But I've got to get that sealed up and firmed up and everything, and then, you know, reapply glaze there. Outside of that, you know, again, hit some high spots. So I've got some bare metal. Again, epoxy is going to have to go down, just, you know, spotting that in. But everything is looking, like I said, better and better for sure. That is, again, remarkably straight compared to when I first started. So I'm happy with it. I just got to do a little bit of glazing and spot epoxy, and then get one more coat of urethane primer surfacer down for the final blocking. Okay, what I ended up doing is mixing some of this fiberglass resin with the short strand fiberglass that I've been using, and use the liquid activator there. Don't know if it's going to harden up. It probably will, but usually you would use a fiberglass cloth with that. I didn't have any, so I just used some of that stuff just as a binder, because this is pretty liquefied. And I just spread it on the repair area here, and then just kind of tapered it off so I have something I can block, and that'll still be nice and flat. And this was a little bit of a low area, so I thought, hey, go ahead and use it. I had some extra. I went ahead and picked up this clear coat. They recommended it over the Nason 465, and it's even cheaper. So it's a Euro Clear by TCI Coatings, and went ahead and picked that up because it flies off the shelf. It looks like this stuff's set up pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it sanded and see where we are. Sanded out nicely. So now what I'll do is I just put down a thin coat of glaze on it so everything is nice and flat, cohesive. Glaze on there and let that set up. Glaze some low spots down here as well. It was a low area right in here, so I just went ahead and did the whole area, and I'm going to be sanding it anyway. Okay, I got a coat of epoxy on everything here because it's hard to mix up enough just for little spots, so went ahead and sprayed the whole thing again, but just one coat. So letting this cure a little bit, and then I'll be ready to put the urethane on and do another block sanding. But if you can see, that side's looking very nice. I will be surprised if I have to do anything else. Maybe a little bit here and there, but I've got time. Okay, glad I got that primer on. It's raining outside for the next 5 or 6 days, but looking over this thing, it is looking really, really good. Things seem nice and flat and straight. Nice crisp lines here, nice flatness on the rail. These are looking good. These are where welds are, and they're not detectable, discernible now. Yeah, that's good there as well. The only spot that I'm seeing to do a little bit of sanding here. This repair is good, it's nice and solid. That's where I did the fiberglass. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the only thing I'm seeing so far. Nice crisp line here, flatness up here. Everything's looking real straight. I mean, I think what I'm going to need to do at this point is just a light blocking of the whole panel, or the whole tub here, and that's going to be it for this. This is going to be ready to paint. Of course, I need to prime and then block the cowl here, but I know it doesn't have any issues. So real pleased with the way this is coming out. So just takes time. Just takes time. So yeah. So today I'll just work on the doors in the shop since it's raining outside, and just let this sit for a few days.